Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind. Well, thank you for coming along so far on our planetary exploration expeditions. We're trying to hit all of the planets in Sothis, and then we'll go hit the rest that we haven't been to in Ceos. Before we start cargo missions again, because we're at Sothis, right? We're at 10.395 or 394, so almost at 10.4. So we have really plenty up to this point. We have just received word from Frontier that Beta 2 starts on May the 11th and it goes through May the 26th. So this is Monday. And May the 4th, and by the 11th, in a week, we start Beta 2. So we're really excited about that. I will be participating in Beta 2, excitingly again. So please join me. Look to the bottom right of the video and you'll see the subscription, where you will be able to subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. You get notified when I produce more videos, and it eventually will help me with YouTube. Far from the minimum that YouTube requires, but I do appreciate all of those that have subscribed. It really means a lot, because if I didn't have any subscribers by now, I would have shut down the YouTube channel. Because it's just not worth doing if no one gives the word to YouTube that I'm worth following. So I do appreciate it, even with the allergies that I have this year. So we have to just try to do our best. Underneath the video in the description you will see our ways to donate. Please consider donating. So now if I can get you guys to help with the high costs of running a YouTube channel, that would be awesome. And underneath the video to the left, you'll see my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG, where you'll find over 615 more videos to watch, all made since the beginning of January of this year, 2020, or 3306. So let's get going to our next target. We're at Sothis C1 now. Sys left. Go to system map. Gonna go to Sothis C2. Sys landing.
Landing gear retracted.
And we're waiting for mass lock to go off. And we'll go into Super Cruise.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And our next target is below us, so it's kind of behind the planet, my guess. Yes, it is. So we'll make our way around the planet so we can line up with our next target, which is 15 light seconds away, so it's not really that far. So at least we have the date of Beta 2, which is May the 11th at 11 UTC, or 6 a.m. Central US time. And our destination is about to appear from behind the planet. I'm sure I've discovery scanned this system many times, but what the heck. And we found out right after Beta 1 was over that the upkeep cost for the fleet carrier is going to be 85.5% less. And for me, it was 127 million, so it'll be around 19 million. So I am excited about that. And to activate the services, they'll be 35 to 45% less. So any savings is welcome. And we do have a potential that is kind of coming around. So I just have to keep an eye on them. We have no cargo missions, contracts, or any of those things. I do appreciate you coming along. We also found out about the fleet carriers, that the ramp-up time that was an hour is going to be 15 minutes, and the cool-down time that was an hour will be 5 minutes, so that's all good.
Orbital flight engaged.
And before, if you got in debt with your fleet carrier, they would give you 4 weeks to catch up, or then it would be decommissioned. Well, now you have 10 weeks. And there will be universal cartographics on the fleet carriers. Tritium as a fuel will go twice as far as it did before. So that's good. Came out of Super Cruise and we're in a glide, so we'll see how far it takes us down toward the planet. make our circle around where you can see the planet. We also heard that our expectations of space legs, personal planetary bases, and landing on planets with atmosphere, which would be called the New Era, and would be a DLC, and that has been postponed into 2021 from December 2020. So, unfortunate, but not totally unexpected, because the fleet carriers, the beta, is supposed to have come out in November 2019, and it was delayed. So we're kind of used to delays. Of course, we have to watch ourselves or we'll slam into the planet, and we don't want to do that. Sothis landing.
Landing gear deployed.
Sothis alternate. So we'll feather down. We'll have to see how fast we go down. It's based on gravity. Because I've slammed in the planets a few times, so we try not to do that. So we watch our descent speed. Oh, we're going down too fast. Yeah, I pushed up the thrusters. I don't think we hit too hard. See if we can find a spot. Yeah, I believe I slowed us down enough. As you can tell, we still have all our rings on our shield, so I think we're fine. Sothis down.
Low gravity warning.
It says low gravity. Warning. Get away from the ship just a little bit before we send her off. There might be a signal. Sothis, ship.
Ship dismissed.
I like sending them off. Now I did see an upper signal, And before we get there, gonna get ready. It was behind us. See if it's still there. Yep, I see an upper signal. Sys dark. Sys dark. And you know we have to check out those upper signals before we check out anything else. That's where we're going. What we really want to see is a trespass zone. What we really want. So far we don't see a trespass zone. The times before it's just a crash site, and that's kind of what it looks like up there, just a crash site. Occupied, there's several occupied escape pods, a lot of occupied escape pods. Now again, these are all computer based and created. They're not real. They're not players, or I'd be picking them up. Like there's no ship, it's just occupied escape pods. I mean, it looks like there might have been a ship, pieces of a ship, but those are always interesting. And you can relog, you can go back to the menu and come back, and everything is reset so you don't see the same targets over again. Usually I do not. I want to see new targets. So we wait for the sensor to repopulate. And we're starting to get some targets. Those are raw material target. Just make sure that's all we got. We haven't seen any skimmers or stingers in Sothis Arceos yet. And for those that the motion of the video will cause you motion issues, very sorry about that. Maybe you can just kind of glance at the screen just to kind of get an idea of what's going on, and you can listen more than watch. Now you can get used to it, just like I'm in a VR headset, the Oculus Rift S, which I do really like, except for it loses tracking from time to time, and I don't like that. Try to have as much light, and where the USB ports do not go into power savings, and it still happens from time to time. And you have to restart the Oculus software to get it to come back. See, your bottom sensor will tell you if there's a canyon on the other side, so you don't just run off of a canyon. And you'll see a rock down there that's a little white color, so it was a little bit different, so we could tell that that's probably our target even before we were able to click on it. Yeah, there's many of them, so that's good. I don't think there's any more back here. It's all newer ones. This one. And see, they don't go up very high, so I mean the gravity's pretty heavy. Surprised it gave us the low gravity warning. But we do need the materials. I've used up probably 75 to 80% of our materials with the 3 additional pythons and the 3 additional cutters. Setting up support ships for our fleet carrier. So for in June. See what else we got. Do kind of a scan around. There is an outcrop, and I'd rather go toward an outcrop than just the regular, because outcrop produces more material. So yeah, when I first got the a VR headset, I could only play about 15 minutes at a time before I got pretty bad motion sickness. And then I'd have to walk away and come back later and try it again. But I was determined to make it work, and I knew, because I used to get car sickness or motion sickness in a car, and if I would just purposely read a little bit every time I got in a car as a passenger, then I knew eventually it did go away for me and I could read in a car. Well, it's the same thing with this. If you keep doing it, eventually your brain gets used to it and you don't get sick with it anymore. And the people I hear on the forums, that's the same way with them. They said if they played about 15 minutes at a time and would walk away and come back, it eventually went away after a couple of weeks. And I think it was probably a couple of weeks for me too. So you just have to condition yourself to be able to handle the motion, and then it's fine. Do appreciate you coming along. Make sure you press that subscribe button. I need about 16, 17 times as many subscribers that I already have, and I appreciate all of the subscribers so far, because if I didn't have subscribers by now after 4 months, I wouldn't do it anymore. It's not worth it. But you guys and gals telling me that it is worth subscribing to encourages me to continue to make the videos. And of course, you can't make everybody happy. There's some, no matter how hard you try, you can't make them happy. So, and part of it, I'm not an apologist for Frontier. If there's a problem, if I see it as a problem, I'm going to tell you it's a problem to me. And you have to decide if that's a problem for you. And you would like Frontier to fix those things, like Super Cruise throttles that stick. It's terrible. And mission critical message while you're looking at the mission board, and it throws you out of the mission and throws you to the top of the board when you're trying to decide if you're going to select that mission or not. That drives me crazy. So those things are broken for me. Any other things, I don't like it that when I try to go to a small station, I have other ships trying to beat me to the request. And it's just the obstacle course mentality, and I do not like the obstacle course feature of the game. And I do not like the interdictions and the pirating, and the pirate attacks at the stations and stuff like that. I don't like that. So those are just some of the things I just don't like. I think they did fix the issue I used to have with the SRV, and it would barely spin, and it would always turn me in the opposite direction. I think they must have fixed that, because it doesn't happen much at all anymore. So I think they did fix that. I don't mind sliding some. I understand that. That's more realistic, especially when you're an icy planet. You know, on an icy planet, of course that's going to happen some, but it didn't matter. No matter if you went uphill, downhill, sideways, it would always turn you in the opposite direction. And that's not realistic. I like it to be more realistic than some weird thing that whatever it's supposed to be called. But I am happy that we're getting fleet carriers again to play with. I mean, it's still what you do in beta stays in beta. So you don't want to grind credits and things like that. And asteroid mining's for fun, not for collecting anything. But you can spend all of your credits during beta too, and it doesn't affect your live account. So that part's kind of nice. So I believe I'm going to have about 9.9 billion in beta 2. And we'll probably spend all of it during beta 2, because it won't affect our live account. Now in June, we'll get to buy it for good. And it's going to take probably about 8 billion out of my 10.4 billion I've got now. I think we have another one. Yep, right there. I like leaving the sensor zoomed out though, because then I can see if we have company. And I want to know if we have company or not. But then I got to make decisions based on that. I don't want to lose the bounty claims that I'm holding because I get blown to bits in the SRV. Like on the fleet carrier, we can turn in all our bounty claims no matter what faction they're through. I really like that. We are gathering some good material, and that's good. And this is our live account, so it stays with us, because I've used up so much material. So I need to restock some of that. See how we're doing on time. Yeah, pretty good. Probably call down the ship in just a little. Let's do a circle and see if there's any upper level stuff. Well, I haven't seen any, but this will probably be our last material gathering for this planet. But please join us on May the 11th when we start another playlist called My Personal Fleet Carrier, My Second Look, Beta 2. I have changed the name of the first playlist, that's My Personal Fleet Carrier, My First Look, Beta 1. So I added Beta 1 to the end of it. So it'll be a separate playlist on our YouTube channel for Beta 2. That will start May the 11th at 6 a.m. Central Time is where I'm at. So it'll be 11 a.m. or 11 UTC. My fleet carrier will be open to everyone except for Notorious. And the only reason I don't have it open to Notorious because when I tried to land at others' fleet carriers, I got attacked by pirates, and I think it might be because I had it open to pirates, to Notorious. Sis, ship. And I don't want you to be attacked by pirates if you visit my fleet carrier. And you will always know where the fleet carrier is. And if you watch my videos every day, you really will know, because we'll talk about it ahead of time where we're going. $650 meters away. But the purpose of the ships, I guess, it's never to be as close to you as possible. They don't seem to land in the surrounding area that you would think would be the best. So I'm not sure what the rhyme or reason for where they land, because I haven't been able to see the reasoning for they land at certain places. It's not any better than places that were closer. So, sis down. Well, I appreciate you coming along again. Make sure you locate that subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of the video and press that. It doesn't cost you anything. You get notified when I produce more videos, and it'll certainly help me out with YouTube and eventually. And underneath the video in the description, you see ways to donate. Please consider donating. Underneath the video to the left, you see my YouTube channel page, GFM_RDG, where there's over 615 videos just in the last 4 months. So it's all current information, and current content. So please join us for our next planetary exploration video. So until then, thank you for watching.